It is time now to get into the actual awards themselves. And of course, before we do that, for each one, we're going to just remind you who the nominees were. And then we're going to throw it to our commissioner, Kyle McIntyre, who's going to actually give you guys who the winners are. So we'll start off with the Star Egg Most Sportsmanlike Player. Let's remind everybody of the nominees. Mason Buchert of the Larange Ice Wolves, Jaden Eogan of the Melville Millionaires, Evan Forrest of the Nipawin Hawks, Ben Portner of the Battleford North Stars, and Zach Summers of the Melfort Mustangs. So to announce our winner, let's go now to Commissioner Kyle McIntyre.
The winner of the 2023-2024 Star Egg Most Sportsmanlike Player of the Year from the Larange Ice Wolves is Mason Buchert. Buchert, a Saskatoon native, posted 20 goals and 62 points while taking only a meager 12 minutes in penalties, 10 of which were in equipment misconduct in January. Congratulations, Mason, on an outstanding season.
I forgot about that part, that most of his penalty minutes were just a equipment malfunction or whatever it was. I think it was a neck guard violation or something.
One minor penalty all year.
Playing for Kevin Kaminsky.
In Larange.
Yeah.
Playing for Kevin Kaminsky.
Not even a second stick infraction where, you know, you go for a puck in the corner and you trip, those things happen by accident.
Yeah.
And he had one. That's incredible. Everyone was deserving of a nominee, but that was Mason Buchert's, I think, runaway with his Sportsmanlike Player of the Year. What a player and what a year.
Yeah, he led the Ice Wolves in scoring, and I should say his one minor was a 2-minute high-sticking penalty in the second period.
Probably an accident.
Against Larange in March.
At the end of the year.
In March. That was his one minor. So, and he plays a lot for Larange.
A lot. So, he's a top 6 forward. He's out there all the time. So congratulations to Mason Buchert on that one. We're going to go on to the Direct West Rookie of the Year. Let's remind everybody of the nominees for the Rookie of the Year. Travis Bryson of the Humboldt Broncos, Luke Beadall of the Melville Millionaires, and Carson Olsen of the Battleford's North Stars. Let's go now to Commissioner Kyle to announce the winner.
The winner of the 2023-2024 Direct West Rookie of the Year from the Battleford North Stars is Carson Olsen. Carson is a commitment at UMass Lowell of the NCAA Division I. Olsen finished this season with 30 points and an impressive +23 rating. The 2006-born Warman native was also the only one of 2 rookie defensemen to hit double digits in goals this season. Congratulations, Carson, on an outstanding season.
So we've talked a lot about Carson Olsen throughout this season. We've talked a lot about his partner, Tanner Golden, how much of an impact he has had on Carson. But Jamie, maybe I'll start with you on this one. Warman is pumping out a lot of hockey players. Yeah. There's more than one coming up here. But what can you tell me about Carson Olsen?
Yeah, as you said, great mentorship. I think Rory used that word talking about Carson maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about the nominees. Look, this kid's got some snarl to his game. He's one of the 2 rookie defensemen that had over 10 goals. I believe Ben Costantino of the Humboldt Broncos was the other, but he's an 06. He's already committed D1 to UMass Lowell. A lot of eyeballs on this kid, and what I really like about him is he's got lots of talent, lots of skill. But he's not a shrinking violet. He's a physical kid, too.
Yeah, absolutely physical. And, when it comes down to rookies, we've seen it over the last handful of years. Age has weight. When you're 2 years younger than one and 1 year younger than the other, playing defense, top line pairing, that's going to go a long way to getting the votes. And Carson Olsen, what a season. And, UMass has to just be so happy with him playing in Battleford, playing on the top pairing, going up against top forwards, partnered with Tanner Gold. He's just getting so much experience. That was a heck of a rookie year for Carson Olsen.
And plus 23.
Yeah, and he could have a huge playoff run as well. He could be a huge impact on that series and however long Battleford's does end up going. Let's move on now to the Borgo Forward of the Year. Let's remind everyone of the nominees. The Bells, Spencer Bell and Kean Bell, Humboldt and Battleford's respectively, and Justin Lees of the Flin Flon Bombers. Some very good candidates. This could go anyway. And there was probably some other ones that didn't get nominated. However, let's go to Commissioner Kyle now for the winner.
The winner of the 2023-2024 Bourgeot Forward of the Year with a league-leading 57 assists and 94 points from the Battleford North Stars is Kean Bell. Bell is the first player to win the scoring race in back-to-back seasons since Travis Mahan of the Melfort Mustangs, when he did it in 2014 and 2016. Congratulations, Kean, on an outstanding year.
Yeah, congratulations, Kean. And, he's had such a huge impact on this league in the last 2 seasons. Rory, can you just give me a snippet of how good Kean Bell is?
Yeah, he's the most cerebral player, I would say, in the SJHL. His ability to get lost, get open, find his teammates, or put the puck in the back of the net himself. I think is second to none. He can change a game in many, many different ways, but again, thinks the game at an elite level. And I will say, Marty Martinson, get your laptop out, because already 2 awards for the Battlefords North Stars. You're probably busy, and I expect 14 articles to come from Marty now that the Battlefords North Stars has picked up a Forward of the Year and a Rookie of the Year.
He works hard, 57 assists for Kean. So consistent, so impressive. I was saying when Battlefords needs someone to come up with a big night, Kean dusts off that cape, and he's Superman again. So if you count out the Stars and Kean Bell right now in the playoffs, you're making a big mistake.
Congratulations, Kean Bell, on another fantastic season. Let's get now to the Super U Defenseman of the Year. Let's remind everybody. Chase Friedmore of the Melfort Mustangs, Noah Houle of the Flin Flon Bombers, and Alex Isaac of the Battlefords North Stars. Could Marty Martinson have another article in the waiting? Let's go to Commissioner Kyle now for the announcement.
The winner of the 2023-2024 Super U Defenseman of the Year with a leading 68 points from a blue liner is Noah Houle from the Flin Flon Bombers. Houle's 68 points are the most by a defenseman in the SJHL since Josh McDougall of the Nipawin Hawks posted 74 in the 2017-2018 season. Noah is committed to Lindenwood University of the NCAA Division I. For next season, congratulations, Noah, on an outstanding season.
Yes, an outstanding season is an understatement. He led the league in scoring by a defenseman for most, if not all, of the season. Unbelievable, real huge driver of production for Flin Flon. Jamie, Noah Houle.
Yeah, they keep posting highlights against Notre Dame. Anyways, really impressive season. Obviously, he had a great little stint last year coming in from the CCHL, but he's been dominant from start to finish. The puck's just always on his stick. 68 points is a lot. You probably remember Josh McDougall a little bit. He was unbelievable for Nipawin. So to kind of approach that, I know Josh is playing pro now, so not too shabby. And obviously, those bloodlines obviously matter. Donnie Houle Villeneuve, his brother, having a great career at the University of Maine. So maybe they'll come up against each other at D1. So really happy for Noah, and well-deserved.
Yeah, and
racking up points for Team Rory on the fantasy as well. I will have to
That's the important part.
We'll have to put a final tally on Twitter, because I didn't do that before the show. We had too much going on. But yeah, if you put up the most points in the SJHL in the last 6 years, you're probably going to come home with the award. And 68 points is really impressive for Noah Houle.
Yeah, pretty good player. And Lindenwood is excited. They got a good
one. A lot of SJ kids.
Another SJ kid.
Yeah. Obviously, Jaden Mercier there. And Kuzma,
yeah, congrats again to Noah. Let's move on to the SaskTel Goalie of the Year and remind everybody of the nominees. Harmon Laser-Hume of Flin Flon, Daza Mitchell of the Weyburn Red Wings. We've talked about him a lot today. And James Venn of the Melfort Mustangs. Let's go now to Kyle McIntyre for the announcement.
The winner of the 2023-2024 SaskTel Goaltender of the Year from the Flin Flon Bombers is Harmon Laser-Hume. Harmon finished in the top 3 in league wins, goals against average, and shutouts. Laser-Hume was also the SaskTel Goaltender of the Month back in November. Congratulations, Harmon, on an excellent season.
And I think the craziest part is, as you look at his final numbers of the season, they were better like a week ago. Like they were like really good. I think he had a 208 goals against or something and a 935 or something going into the last couple of games. And they just happened to score a couple goals on him in the last few games. It actually increased his stats to end the season. So guys, Harmon Laser-Hume, very underrated player in Nugsy, right?
Yeah, I mean, nobody will let me live that down when I put him on my underrated team. I thought I gave a good reason.
It was a good reason
that day, so you can go back and watch that show. But yeah, look, Harmon's got all the tools you want. He's big enough, he's athletic enough to play at a D1 level. There's no question in my mind. And you know what? I didn't give him enough credit for how good of a year Flin Flon has had. I talk about the weapons, talk about the Noah Houles and the Anthony Baxes of the world on the back end, but big reason as well is Harmon Laser-Hume. And yes, Kelly, I asked you to change that graphic. I'm sure you laughed when I said, put Harmon out there. But you know what? Harmon deserves it. So there you go.
930 save percentage over the course of a season. That's not a stretch of a couple of weeks. That's incredible. Yeah. Really good.
Really good. And you know what? Just a small honorable mention, shout out to his goaltender tandem partner, Kenneth Marquardt, who also had very good numbers on the year, and excited to see him back next year.
You often see the best goalies in any league are someone that has a really good backup or secondary option, because you're not just competing out them to get the net. You're pushing each other every day to get better, to keep the net. Right? So, and that's what Kenny Marquardt did, who had an amazing season himself. But I'm sure Harmon benefited on having a goalie like Kenny as his 1B option.
Big time.
Yeah, so anyways, great season, Harmon. And you know what? We'll see what happens in these playoffs, because I'm sure he'll be tested a few times, and he's going to have a big impact for the Flin Flon Bombers. Let's move on now to the Cantera Seeds. Shout out to Cantera again. Saskatchewan, Player of the Year. A couple of Humboldt Broncos, Matthew Van Blaercom and Spencer Bell, and Logan Linklater of the Kindersley Clippers. Let's head now to Commissioner Kyle for the announcement.
The winner of the first ever Cantera Seeds Saskatchewan Player of the Year, awarded to the top Saskatchewan player in the league from the Humboldt Broncos and Warman, Saskatchewan, is Spencer Bell. Spencer led the SJHL in goals this year with 47 and finished second in points by only a few to Kean Bell with 88. Bell is committed to the St. Lawrence University of the NCAA Division I for next year. Congratulations, Spencer.
47 goals on the year, and guess who called each and every one of them? Rory McGoran. Rory, Spencer Bell.
Yeah, he's just an absolute phenom. Workhorse, power forward, all three zones, all three responsibilities, power play, penalty kill, even strength, led the league in goals. There's nothing really now that he has top tier speed that he can't do. He can outmuscle you in the corners. He can burn you down the wings. Obviously, his shot is elite. He just puts in so much work, and the most valuable player on the Broncos. What a season for Spencer Bell. I can't wait to see him. I know he's 20, but as his career moves on and what he does in NCAA Division I, because that's a player that every team wants. Just responsibility. There's no part of the game that's lacking. He can go anywhere and do exactly what you need. And if you need him to score goals, he's done that for the Broncos this year.
Yeah, it's so consistent. I think he had about 20 more points than any other Humboldt Bronco, too, something like that. But so consistent. The knock or the question mark, whatever it was, coming out of Blackfalds and the AJ, from whom the Broncos got him for essentially nothing. What a job by Scott Barney to make that trade, sending the rights to Tristan Boileau to Blackfalds. Unbelievable for him to get that return. Was his skating, but he has worked on it. He's not slow at him anymore. He can fly, especially in a straight line. He's got that power forward speed. Once he gets his stride going, he's unstoppable, and he's very strong and doesn't miss in front. He's so clinical. Spencer Bell, been a treat, and I'm glad we have the Saskatchewan Player of the Year now to honor Spencer, so that he's not beaten out, because he deserved something this year.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's an award we're just throwing to him because he deserves it, but I'm glad we have this award too to recognize Saskatchewan.
Well, it's always going to be cool for him too. He's the first ever Cantera Seed Saskatchewan Player of the Year in the SJHL.
Yeah.
And
no one can take that away.
As you said, Clark, they are making some kids in Warman.
Yeah. Warman's got it going on right now. Whatever it is about Warman.
What's in the water?
Exactly. And you know what? Just one more note about Spencer. Over 100 points since being acquired by the Broncos.
Yeah.
So very
For
good.
nothing,
very good.
pretty much.
Very good trade. Scott Barney, well done.
Way to go.
Well done. Speaking of coaches, let's move on to the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association Coach of the Year, the longest award title of all of them. Doug Johnson of the Melville Millionaires, Clayton Jardine of the Kindersley Clippers, and Mike Reagan of the Flin Flon Bombers. This could go any way. Let's go now to Kyle McIntyre for the announcement.
The winner of the 2023-2024 Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association Coach of the Year this year is from the Flin Flon Bombers, Mike Reagan. Reagan, the Flin Flon local, guided the Bombers to a club-high 44 wins and their third Sherwood Division title in the last 4 years. The Bombers were the #1 seed in Canada throughout the CJHL for most of the season, and this is the first time in Mike Reagan's coaching career that he has won the award. Congratulations, Mike, on an outstanding season.
I think I heard a collective woo out of Flin Flon all the way from here. They are excited. Mike Reagan has finally gotten his due for Coach of the Year. 17 years as coach, first time winning. I was shocked when I heard that. Rory, Mike Reagan.
Yeah, there was, I know Clayton Jardine and Doug Johnson were in the voting for taking younger teams and bringing them back to the playoffs, the two longest droughts, right? And very well deserving of it. But I don't think there was really ever taking it away from Mike Reagan. Yeah, the oldest team in the SJHL, but 44 wins on the year, first place, basically wire to wire. Yeah, that's, and you still got to coach the older, more experienced players. You still got to get them to work together. You got to get them to play 56 games and to win 44 of them. Heck of a job, and I think very deserving of his first ever Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, and you look at certain metrics, and certain statistics. You put a real talented group of guys together. They're probably going to score goals. They're probably going to have a good power play. But this Flin Flon team does not give up goals. They've got a great penalty kill. Mm-hmm. They have the puck the whole game. They start games, they end games well. Little details that this Flin Flon Bombers team has that you need good coaching from kids that are bought into the coaching. And the last thing I'll say is he talks about his team's practices. He sometimes has to stop them and pause them because the Bombers are trying to kill each other on the ice. in terms of the physicality, the compete that they have, clearly, Mike Reagan, and I'm sure he would also say that Cole McKegg deserves credit behind him as his assistant. Two terrific human beings, first and foremost, two terrific coaches. Really, really happy for a good friend of all of ours, Mike Reagan, and couldn't be more well-deserving.
Knowing Mike, I've known Mike now since 2014, and I'm sure he's deflecting as much of this as he possibly can because he is that humble of a guy. So, again, huge congratulations to Mike, well-deserved. I'm sure Flin Flon is jumping up and down right now. They're pumped. SGU MVP. This is the last one of the day here. Let's remind everyone, Kean Bell of the Battlefords North Stars, James Venn of the Melfort Mustangs, and Spencer Bell of the Humboldt Broncos, all three very deserving nominees. Drum roll, guys. Let's go to Commissioner Kyle now for the announcement.
The winner of the 2023-2024 SGEU MVP of the Year from the North Battleford North Stars is forward Kean Bell. Kean wins the award for the second season in a row and helped the Stars from around 500 hockey to start the year to a record of 30, 10, and 4 since he returned in late October. Truly an MVP. Congratulations, Kean, on a great season.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Kyle nailed it there with simply when you think of value and you think of where they were when he wasn't there and where they've been since, Kean Bell. I mean, Jamie, I'll start with you. We already talked about him quite a bit, but this guy just continues to impress everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they were 30, 10, and 4 since they got him, and they had a 6-game losing streak near the end of the year. So what does that say about the bulk of the year since they got Kean Bell? Look, we talked about it, the consistency, obviously the hockey bloodlines. His uncle is a legend in Battlefords. His mom is a Canadian women's hockey legend as well, Fiona. So obviously got the bloodlines and a wonderful family, a wonderful young man, carries that Battlefords crest with such passion, cares so much about the Stars winning. It's not at all about Kean. He just wants to win for the Battlefords people in the community. So again, a very deserving, great ambassador for the league and for Battlefords. And yeah, just a terrific player. And honestly, just from a hockey fan's perspective, I'm going to miss watching him whenever this season is done for Battlefords because he's been such a treat.
Yeah. Roy, anything else?
Yeah, just very cool to win both MVP and forward back-to-back years. And the discrepancy for when he's out of the lineup to when he's in the lineup is why he won this award.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because he led the league in points. It's because of how valuable he is to his team. Yes, he did lead the league in points.
Doesn't hurt.
When he's not in the lineup, are they a 500 team? When he is in the lineup, as Newsy said, minus that 6-game losing streak, they're 30 and 4.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I remember one of the huge storylines coming into this season, guys, from you guys, and also when me and Jeremy were doing Insider, was who's going to replace the 6,000 goals that the North Stars have lost since last season with Kean Bell and Holden Dole and Kessler and Kean Bell. Kean Bell replaced all those goals.
And elevated Ben Portner and elevated Brad Blake and elevated guys around him.
Yeah, so value is an understatement. So congratulations again to Kean Bell. And you know what? Congratulations to all of our winners this year. That was all of them there. What a season. Super proud of everybody. And just a shout out to all of the nominees who didn't win, but also all the guys who made the decisions very, very hard that weren't even nominated. There was a lot of really hard decisions and discussions that went into the nominees and then the eventual winners as well. So congrats to everybody around the league because that was it's been an exceptional season. It's been a lot of fun.